Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. I want to thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. I will definitely be making more exclusive content along with making sure it's on Spotify and Patreon alike. But of course, we want to make sure there's as much free content as possible, so why not? So today we are going to talk about Chapter 2, Ashanti, her second studio album. So I talked about her debut and the impact it did have, because at the time there was a lot of things going on in 2002. So going into 2003, we already have Brandy, who had just came out with Full Moon. We already have Monica, who may have been coming back, along with a new artist, which isn't really new, but as becoming solo, we have Beyonce. We have all these different people coming through by 2003, 2004. So Ashanti, of course, was holding her own, where she said, listen, I'm gonna make sure I got my albums out too. So let's get into it. Chapter 2 is the second studio album by Ashanti. It was released by Murder Inc. and Island Def Jam on July 1st, 2003 in the United States. Ashanti reteamed with Murder Inc. head Irv Gotti and producer Chink Santana to work on the album. Chapter 2 features a guest appearance by rapper Ja Rule, Chink Santana, and Guns. Critical reception towards the album was generally mixed, with critics commending the album's autobiographical lyrics and its fun yet light nature, while other critics felt Chapter 2 lacked creativity and personality and relied too heavily on the formula of her debut album. Upon its release, the album debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard 200 chart with its first week sales of 326,000 units. It also reached the top 10 in Canada, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Chapter 2 was eventually certified platinum by the Recording Academy in August 2003 and gained gold status in Japan and in the United Kingdom. At the 46th Annual Grammy Awards, it earned Ashanti 3 nominations for Best Contemporary R&B Album, Best Female R&B Vocal Performance, and Best R&B Song. Chapter 2 spawned 3 singles, including the Billboard Hot 100 number 2 song Rock With You, Ah Baby, the R&B ballad Rain On Me, and Break Up to Make Up remix. So in the midst of those nominations, I believe B won those. That's besides the point. Murder Inc. selected Rock With You, Ah Baby, which they considered a continuation from her debut single Foolish, to be released as the album's first single from Chapter 2, issued on May 19, 2003. The song became a commercial success stateside, and Ashanti's third solo top 10 hit. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, while reaching number 4 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. Internationally, it was a moderate success, reaching the top 5 in Canada and Japan, the top 10 in the United Kingdom, top 20 in Australia, and the top 40 in Ireland, New Zealand, and Switzerland. The album's second single, Rain On Me, was released August 11th, 2003. It peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B Hip Hop charts. Elsewhere, it reached the top 20 in Belgium and the United Kingdom. In 2004, Rain On Me earned Ashanti a Grammy Award nomination for Best R&B Vocal Performance. In 2004, a remix version of Break Up to Make Up featuring labelmate Black Child was released as a single. It served as the lead single from Ashanti's remix compilation album Collectibles by Ashanti, released in 2005, reaching number 76 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs. But yeah, guys, so this album, it did good. And like I said in the beginning, it came out at a time where all these other artists were emerging or were releasing singles, and we're coming back. I can't even just say emerging, just there were people coming back by 2003 as well. So yeah, it received mixed reviews. It remarked that the New York Times, they said, isn't perfect, but once you edit out the skits, which are without exception excruciating, you're left with an album that's graceful, I don't know what that word is, be cooling, and above all, light in the best sense of the word. Yeah, the singer's sophomore CD though proves wrong those who thought she would be a one-hit album wonder. Chapter 2, which continues the same hip-hop soul theme as her self-titled debut, is the equivalent of a good beach read. It's easy breezy listening that doesn't require much brain power. So yeah, critics were feeling as though with Chapter 2, which I, was kind of feeling like in this time too, that there didn't have to be that much of that if it wasn't taken in the right way when it comes to interludes. See, interludes in the 90s, we kind of liked them. We were just like, all right, we getting pieced into the next thing. But in the 2000s, if it just was just, an answer machine, or a conversation that is third party, well, with us being third party to other people, and we're hearing how well they're loving and receiving the album for what it is, those type of insights were already anticipated for us. So a lot of times it can conflict with how people listen to albums, where it's just like, all right, I'm skipping this interlude. Okay, and it's just unfortunate where it's like that, because artists put interludes to kind of make the album have a story more, and also to make it cohesive in their own right. But I will say that when you look at Thriller, when you look at when you look at certain albums that don't have any interludes at all, like it's just song, it's over, it's okay. There's some albums that don't need interludes. They're just great without them. Just get to the song, just get to the next thing. But yeah, debuted at number 1 with first week sales of 326,000 units, which became Ashanti's second chart topper. It was a considerable decline from her previous effort, Ashanti, which had opened to sales of 502,500 units in April 2002. In total, it remained on the Billboard 200 chart for 30 consecutive weeks. In addition, it reached the top position on Billboard's top R&B hip-hop albums chart, which it stayed at the top spot for 2 consecutive weeks. Yeah, the album was certified platinum by the Recording Academy towards the end of 2003. Billboard ranked the album at number 54 and 27 respectively on its Billboard 200 and top R&B hip-hop albums chart year and chart lists. By January 2005, Chapter 2 had sold 1.5 million copies according to Nielsen SoundScan. Let's get into the track list. So track 1, intro medley. Track 2, Shawnee's World, featuring Chink Santana. Track 3 is Rock With You, Baby. Track 4, What Are They Gonna Say Now, which is a skit. Track 5, Break Up to Make Up. Track 6, I Found Lovin'. Track 7, Rain on Me. So I will say right now, Rock With You, Break Up to Make Up, I Found Lovin', Rain on Me, those are back to back for me. If I'm listening, those are back to back for me. I remember when this album came out, I actually had the cassette tape. And I remember listening to it on my tape player and making sure my batteries could be changed for other tapes that I was listening to too. And of course it was compacted with a radio, so it wasn't just the tapes I was listening to. I was listening to the radio at times too, but I had to keep up with the times. Track 8, Then You're Gone, featuring Chink Santana. Now, Then You're Gone is not a bad song, slightly underrated. Track 9, Living My Life, that's definitely underrated. Track 10, Black Child, skit. Track 11, Feel So Good. Now, Feel So Good is a good song. I'm trying to think of the lyrics now. Yeah. You make me feel so good. I'll do what you ask me to. Oh, okay, I got it. Yep, I remember. Carry On, track 12. Now, Carry On's underrated because that was kind of direct when it came to a very domestic and toxic relationship. She even said it in one part of the lyric. when I look into your eyes, all I see is a demon. Like she's pretty much telling, you know, the person, like, listen, like, you be evil as fuck. Like, you like, you don't even care. Like, I don't know why you even feel as though I wouldn't pay attention to whether it's faults from me or faults from you, that I wouldn't want to try to mend these things, but you don't want to. You're not trying. And that's what she said, carry on. Saying, I can't carry on living life like this. This ain't, I don't want to live my life like this. Like, I know the lyrics, but it's just been a minute, y'all. Track 13, the Sugar Shack skit. Track 14, the Story of Two. Now the Story of Two, we go make sweet love until the morning light. I remember that. And then the next song, 15, Ooh. So that song, it's a bit more intimate. It did show a bit more of Ashanti, you know, embracing more of her sexuality here. 16, Shani Shia skit, that's her and her sister together. Track 17, Sweet Baby featuring Ja Rule. Now that's underrated. We'll be just fine with my sweet baby. Listen, this was a time. And you know what? I think what it was is taking in albums when all these other people are like releasing. It's like, you really gotta take the music in. 18, You Say, I Say, that is underrated. You say you would never, but now you're out here playing games. I knew that you would never change. See, I give people their credit. Oh man, she went. Okay, track 19, I Don't Mind. Baby, I wanna kiss you. Okay, yeah. Listen, it was like towards the end of the album, she became a little bit more vocal, but in the middle and in the beginning, it was more or less just kind of getting in your face. But track 20 is Outro featuring Chink Santana. Then there's a Japanese and United Kingdom bonus track, which is I Know. Track 21. Track 22 is I'm Not Scared. So, yeah, guys, like, this album didn't do too bad. You know, it was #1 in the R&B and hip hop and Billboard 200. You know, the UK was feeling it and having it be in the top 10 and being top 2 in R&B albums as well. So it's not so much that people weren't buying and listening and enjoying. I think, you know, they wanted more of Ashanti to just really sing. They didn't want her bridging us into different aspects of whatever she was going to do. And it wasn't just her. It was a lot of people. And especially in this time where people were downloading music. They were like just pretty much just downloading the songs they like and just letting the albums just be wherever. And it just wasn't right. Over time, yes, it definitely wasn't right, because it's like, damn, like the sales, the marketing, you know? But yeah, I will say that this was an album for her to really be able to solidify herself a bit from her debut, despite that it wasn't as successful as her debut. But yes, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and episode, and I will be back with more.